What's up, y'all? We're going live. We're talking. Look at this ridiculous headlight off. All right, that's better. All right, so we're live. We're talking Houston and Kansas tonight. We're talking Louisville, North Carolina. You know, it's not a good NBA slate to bet, man. We got 3 games in the NBA. We got San Antonio, Detroit, which I love. The game, I don't love it to bet. So nothing there. We got Memphis and Sacramento. You don't want to touch that game with a 10-foot pole, man. Like I say, don't catch a falling knife. And we also have the Jazz getting 47.5 points against the Rockets. So nothing in the NBA, but we do have these 2 really good college basketball games. We're going to dive deep into them and contribute in the comment section. I'm doing this by request. Some people wanted me to go back live again, so we're testing it out. If you want more live shows from me, betting, college basketball, NBA, NFL, college football, Major League Baseball. If you want more live, thumbs up, man. Put in the comment section you want to see more Silverback bets live every day, and we'll make it happen. But let's get right into this. Let's get to the first game we're looking at. We're going to break it down from a basketball perspective and from, most importantly, a betting perspective, okay? Kansas got hammered by Cincinnati over the weekend. There's no way around it. And Darren Peterson played in that game. And if you're unfamiliar with the Darren Peterson drama, he is the projected number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft, but he's missed like 8 or 9 games. What's up? How you doing, John? My buddy John in Canada. What's up, brother? So he missed like 8 games with them. And there's a lot of speculation. They're kind of load managing him. And he's had an ankle injury. He's had a hamstring injury. He's taken himself out of games. There was one game, a few games back, he hit a 3-pointer and walked right to the bench. The coach had a substitution set to come in for a different player. And Peterson told that guy to stay on the court. And he went to the bench. So there's a ton of speculation, but he has had legitimate injuries. He's had a hamstring injury, like I said, a quad injury, ankle injury. He's kind of made of glass. And I think he's getting advice from his parents, probably from his agent. And again, so we're talking, for just joining us, we're talking Darren Peterson from Kansas. He's getting advice to not play in these games. And also, too, he's not playing in games that would kind of hurt his draft. That's why I'm surprised he's playing today. He's not playing in games that might hurt his draft status, like he sat out against Arizona, right? He sat out against, I think it was Duke, right? He sat out against Duke. No, I'm sorry, sat out against BYU. He's sitting these games out because we don't know. It's a weird thing going on with Darren Peterson. What do you guys think? You know, type away. Let me know what you think. But there's something weird with Darren Peterson. That's why I'm surprised he's playing tonight. Like I said, he did play over the weekend when they got smashed at home by Cincinnati in the fog, man. Kansas is one of the toughest plays, if not the toughest environment in college basketball. Cincinnati came in and smacked him like like Turner. It was crazy. So they lost at home. Kansas. A lot of Darren Peterson drama. But they haven't lost back-to-back home games since 2006. 20 years. So from a betting point of view, that's an angle that you like to look at, right? You like to say, hey, man, this team hasn't lost back-to-back home games in 20 years. Let's bet for them to win. And it's a near pick-em game. They're catching 1.5. But on the other hand, the Houston Cougars are arguably the best defensive team in college basketball. Definitely the best in the Big 12. I'm looking at the numbers here. Houston gives up just 62 points a game. Best in the Big 12. And defense travels. And Houston has lost 2 straight games, which is uncharacteristic for them. And they haven't lost 3 straight games in 10 years. So something has to give, right? Something has to give here. What streak's going to end? Is it going to be Kansas, where they lose back-to-back home games, first time in 20 years, with arguably the best player in college basketball, who has, as far as we know, he's playing? Is that going to happen, or is Houston going to lose 3 straight? You know, it's tough, but here's the thing. When you bet, you're an investor, and you want to put your money on known commodities. I want to know what I'm getting with my money. I look at Kansas, right, and I look at their games, and they, like I said, lost to Cincinnati. Got smashed by Iowa State. Iowa State is a top 5 team in the country by my rankings. and they got smashed by them. Houston, I can understand Houston losing. I can understand Houston losing to Iowa State. That was a close game. That was a competitive game. When you look at Houston's losses, you can make sense of them. They were all competitive games, right? The games that Houston lost. They lost to Arizona, one of the best teams in the country over the weekend. They lost to Iowa State by 3, like I mentioned, a top 5 team. And they lost to Texas Tech at Texas Tech in a close game. But you can't make sense, man, of some of these Kansas losses, right? Some of these Kansas losses, especially the Western Michigan one, right? 24-point loss to Cincinnati. Western Michigan, they lost by 11, I believe. You just don't know what you're getting with them. And dare I ask the question, are they a better team without Darren Peterson? They beat Arizona. They gave Arizona their first loss without Darren Peterson. And there was a picture going around social media over the weekend. I don't know if you saw it, but it showed the team, the Kansas Jayhawks, huddled together. There's 5 guys on the court. 4 of them were in the huddle. Darren Peterson was walking back to them from somewhere else. Now, we don't know the context behind that photo. We don't know if he was just talking to his coach, arguing with a referee. We don't know. But the image doesn't look good. And I think he messes up their chemistry. It seems as though, Kansas is good. They have good big men, too. And it seems as though when Darren Peterson's playing, when he has the ball, they're kind of just sitting around waiting for him to take the shots. It messes things up. And Houston is a known commodity. We know how they're going to play. They're going to be very strong defensively. Sharp is one of the best players in the country. So we know we're getting there. I think that you got to take Houston. Take Houston minus the 1.5. And if you're unfamiliar, mybookie.ag is a website, a sports book. And they're a partner of the show, mybookie.ag, one of the biggest online books that there is, not an app. And they're actually, mybookie.ag boosted Houston as a partner's pick for me. So if you go to mybookie.ag and go into partner's picks, okay, and you'll see Houston minus 1.5 is plus odds. It's even odds, I should say, plus 100. Do it right now. You got to do it. If you don't have an account, open up a new account, use promo code Silverback. Your first bet's guaranteed. If it misses, they refund it. You got to do it. mybookie.ag. All right, so we like Houston, okay? I like them minus the 1.5 because I used to play when games were minus 1.5, okay? I used to take the money line. But I've changed the way I bet, and I prefer the better odds laying the 1.5. I really do. Now, the other end of it, though, I always prefer to take the 1.5. So I'm usually staying around the minus 110, and I'll lay the minus 1.5, and I'll take the 1.5. When it's that close, I don't go money line, essentially. So we're looking at, you have questions on that game, put them in the comment section. Love to talk more about it. That's what we're doing here anyways, right? So mybookie.ag has Houston boosted under partners pick Silverback. You can get a minus 1.5 even odds. Now we look at Louisville going to North Carolina. And, Louisville was really tough to back without Mikal Brown. Since Mikal Brown has been back, they've been a bet-on team. But they live and die by the 3, and 3-point shooting teams are very difficult to back on the road. And here's why. Home court or home field, home diamond, home ice, however you want to say it, I believe matters more in college basketball than any other sport that we watch, that we bet on. And the reason is because the venues are so different. Take, for example, Seattle University college basketball. That venue is so darn small. Their record at home is unbelievable. They beat teams at home that they have no business beating on a neutral court because their home court is so different. It's hard for pros to do that, but it's even harder for college kids to travel and take on such a different venue. The walls are closed, the audience is closer, and for 3-point shooting teams especially, it's the sight lines that matter on visiting courts. The sight lines are so different. What you're used to seeing at home, half your games, is so different when an arena is congested or the audience is closer, things like that. So home court matters a ton, and home court matters more maybe at North Carolina. We talked about Kansas having a great home court. North Carolina home court matters immensely as well. North Carolina, undefeated at home this season. Okay, undefeated at home. They beat Duke. Of course, they did have Caleb Wilson in that game. Caleb Wilson's their best player. He's out with a fractured hand, so he's not going to be playing in this game. But Louisville, relying on the 3 at North Carolina, where they haven't lost and they beat Duke, I think is tough to lay points with. And they're getting the 3.5, but I like Carolina with the 3.5 at home because one thing I know is they're not going to be blown out at Chapel Hill. They've played 2 games. They've played 2 games without Caleb Wilson. They're 2-1, right? They got hammered at North Carolina State. They beat Pittsburgh at home, and they beat Syracuse on the road convincingly. And Syracuse is not a terrible team. They're a decent team, a decent ACC team. So we have North Carolina catching the 3.5. I think it might be down to 2.5. My members got it for 3.5. But what do you think? Let's have some conversations here and let me know what you guys think of these games. Because the way that I'm betting, like I said, I'm backing off. I started this broadcast today saying I'm backing off of the NBA today, because there's 3 games that don't make a lick of sense from a betting standpoint. I'm looking forward to watching the Spurs and Pistons. I love the Pistons, and I think the Spurs are probably the best team in the league right now, actually. And the Pistons have the best record. Not OKC, the Pistons have the best record in the league, and I love the Pistons. Pistons, Celtics are my teams. Maybe the Rockets, Suns I like too. But I'm looking forward to watching that game, but I'm not going to bet it. I've gone back and forth trying to find an edge. The only edge, if you want to bet it, if you want something from me, I would take the home edge. Okay, I know San Antonio travels well, but in a game like this where you really can't find an edge either way, Dern's back, right? I think the edge goes to the home court. I would take the Pistons if I bet it, but I'm going to stay away. I'm going to enjoy it. And again, we're looking at the NBA. We're looking at the Jazz catching about 48.5 points, taking on Houston, the Rockets, and we have the Sacramento Kings, who have lost 17 straight games, who probably couldn't beat the best college team right now. And they're getting 3.5 points, taking on Memphis. That game's a disaster and a half, too. So it's a college day for me. And also, I want to talk about, if you follow me and watch my videos, you know that I'm a savant for the Big East. I love Big East basketball. There's something about it. Give me some Providence and Villanova on a Wednesday night, glass of wine and some popcorn, and I'm good to go. But this Wednesday, huge one, brother, huge one. St. John's at UConn. Now, to win the Big East, UConn has to win out. They have to. So they have to win this game at home against St. John's. St. John's beat them by 9 or 10 earlier on in the season at St. John's, and the difference in that game was foul shots, essentially. Rebounding and foul shots. St. John's out-rebounded them. St. John's got to the line about 18 more foul shots than UConn does. But that's their MO. Okay, St. John's gets to the line. It wasn't a fluke. And UConn is one of the heaviest fouling teams in the Big East. And I'm running the Jungle 11. What is the Jungle 11? Corey, where's the biscuits, man? Jungle 11 is, I'm taking 11. Right now we have 8. We had signed one up last night. So there's 8. There's 3 more spots for the Jungle 11. You can get it on the website, silverbackjungle.com. I'm taking 11 people. It's $20, and it's a great deal. Those 11 people, only those 11 people get my bet in the St. John's UConn game Wednesday night. I'm not going to do a video. There's not going to be a public play. Just those 11 will get my bet, what I'm going heavy on for St. John's UConn in my Big East game. And if that bet hits, those 11 people also get a free month membership. Because I don't like when we say, hey, if it doesn't hit, we'll give you something free. I like to say if it does hit, we'll give you something free, because it's fun to root together for it. Okay, so you can get that. You can get that in the comment section of my video, not this live stream, but the video for these games today, my college basketball betting video for today, Monday, the 23rd. There's a link to become part of the Jungle 11 in there, or get it on the website, silverbackjungle.com. Pistons are fire right now. Yes, they are. And my guy right here loves the Houston play, but can't bet on his Tar Heels by rule. I understand that. But it's it's more of a betting on the situation. I don't trust Louisville shooting threes on the road like that. You guys like my Silverback bets cup? Can you see it? Pretty cool. So that's where we're going with, man. I don't think Houston's losing 3 in a row. I don't think Louisville relying on the 3 at North Carolina, at Chapel Hill. I don't think you want to lay points with them. Now, I don't love the North Carolina bet as much as I love the Houston bet. I love me the Houston bet, but I did bet North Carolina because I think that game will be close. Okay, I think that game will be close. What do you guys think about that? And what do you guys think about the Wednesday night game, St. John's and UConn? I think it's going to be awesome, awesome. The spread's not out, the line's not out yet, but the money lines have come out. St. John's plus 204 on the money line, and UConn's minus 400, something like that, on the money line. So the spread's probably going to be 4.5 or 5.5 is my guess. I'm looking forward to that game. What else do you guys want to talk? What games you want to talk about, guys? Let me know. We can break it down. I'm going to wrap this up, but hey, real fast, if you're still with us, let me know if you like these breakdowns, man. If you like these live shows, because I'm happy to do them. Happy to come on, keep doing live shows if it's something that you guys want me to do. Hey, man, thanks for everything. Let's enjoy the games tonight. I'll see you next time. A little bit more money in your pocket.